So, about a week ago, we covered something quite specific about the super mayor of Dalton, the supervisor of Thornton Township, the wonderful Tiffany Henyard. Specifically, her board of trustees seek legislative counsel, and that's basically they get a lawyer to, do certain legal things on their behalf, typically going against the mayor, right? So obviously, the being the mayor of retaliation, her slogan should be, retaliating to all of the business. It should be something like that, or retaliating to all grandstanding. That would be a quite fitting slogan to Tiffany Henyard because everything that she sees as adversary, I don't even know how to say it. Anything she sees that comes against her in any type of way, she chooses to attack it rather than be diplomatic about it. And here is another prime example of her being outwardly aggressive to her own home team, bro. This is like if you're going into the major leagues and your coach fucking hates the team. You know what I mean? It just hates them. Every time they call out a certain play, he's just like, no, shut the fuck up, number 32. We're going to do it this way. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and check this thing out. She's being called out for playing with checks, check fraud, you know what I mean? And on top of that, she's also refusing to pay. This is a very common theme in the Henyard administration. So let's go ahead and jump into this thing. Grab the popcorn, grab the chips, grab all that stuff because it's finna be a good one, man. We go deeper into the Tiffany Henyard administration until she's captured, baby, or until we finish all the corruption. But let's get into this thing.
I did tell you at the last board meeting I am not paying legislative counsel. So if you want to read into the record, like you read those numbers into the record, what the bills are, so the residents can understand how their taxpayer dollars are being utilized. So do you want to read their numbers into the record?
Mayor, again, I say those bills have been sent. If you would like me to pull it up, if you want to wait on that, then I can pull up the totals.
Yes.
Okay, one moment.
May I be recognized?
Yep, go ahead.
While he's pulling up the totals, I just have a question in reference to a statement you just made about saying that you're not going to pay our legal counsel, but we went through several board meetings, removed.
Kiana Belcher, she can't do it. She can't let it ride. You know what I'm saying? There's too much silence filling the room. Kiana was like, nah, let's escalate some shit. Hey, shout out Kiana Belcher, man. She was like, nah, fuck that. You know what? Nah, fuck that. That's what she said. She was like, you know what? Nah. Everybody else was like, you know what? Tiffany, you can have it today. We're all tired. We all want to go home. You can have it today. It's fine. Kiana was like, nope. Over my dead body. Shout her out.
Items that we have not approved, which we are authorized to do, and you're steady approving them, writing checks, signing them, and issuing them. So while you're telling him to give you totals from back in February and it's now June that haven't been paid, and you get up here every meeting and say, pay the people, just as you want your attorneys paid, because on that manual check, there's a $5,000 check to Scott Ehrman, which was a political issue that shouldn't even be addressed for the board to even be paying it. Whatever your political rules is should be your personal bills, not the Village of Dalton bills. So I find it very hard.
So, writing out checks that aren't supposed to be written out to certain people, certain things like that. And I mean, if you're that high up, who's really going to check you other than the trustees? And it's like, fuck the trustees, right? Lock you out of all the views of, I forgot what they use, but it's an application that they use to track bills. A lot of companies use it. They were talking about, oh, you have the financial view. Nobody can get into it. They were just arguing with Keith Freeman about that. Listen, it's crazy. So you X out the trustees. Who is there to really check you? You could write a $5,000 check to fight your own trustees if you really wanted to. Who's going to really say anything? Just hope it dies away.
And once again, that you get up here and try to, because you say we grandstand in reference to paying our legal counsel when you have legal counsel bills on there for a citizen or someone else that's not even a Village of Dalton employee.
Okay, so for the record, clerk, I did not pay anybody from the village funds for political use or political accounts. I don't have to. Everyone knows that. Number two, when you say this is my attorney, this is the village attorney. It is corporate counsel. That's what the attorney to my right is. That means that this attorney is for everybody that sits up here, including the clerk. So the clerk, the village trustees, and myself, the mayor. You guys took it upon yourself to vote in for legislative council, which you guys have currently. Now, the issue with that is the residents did not want that. The issue with it is the residents said no to paying. Hold on one second. The issue is the residents have a problem with
You
paying.
hear that voice? Listen to that sexy ass voice. Isn't that so fucking attractive? You turn over at night and you hear a man speaking to you at night. Hey, baby. Like, oh shit, man. She wake up with a black eye. I'm sorry. I thought there was a man in the bed. You know what I'm saying? That voice must be crazy in the morning. Imagine you have like a one night stand with Tiffany, right? And you're not really used to it. I mean, you're not really used to her. So, you know, it was a great night. You guys go to the room and you wake up in the morning next to her. You know, weave all fucked up, eyelashes all on the side of the wall and shit, face looking crazy, breath stinking. But the worst part is she turned over and she hits you with the voice. Good morning, baby. Whoa, Tiff. That would be crazy. That would probably be the worst. I would stop my one night stands for a very long time after that one.
And unnecessary funds when you do have legal counsel that you guys choose not to utilize. I don't understand why you guys won't utilize the corporate counsel that we have already that you guys voted for, and then you go around and hire another attorney that you do not need. I think that the attorney, meaning the Delgado group, has been fair, has been understanding, and also Ansel and Glee, both of them has been honest and transparent with the Board of Trustees and with the residents. So for us to be paying out unnecessary money, I don't agree with that. I already stated at the last board meeting that I was not going to pay anything. And then lastly, the attorney has not been sending in invoices. That's why I asked you, what are the numbers? What is the invoices? Because I don't know the numbers, so neither do the people. But you guys read into record numbers up here, but you don't know your own attorney's invoice number. I find that appalling. So that is my answer for the record.
So why are we paying Scott Erdman $5,000 as a legal retainer, since you just stated that we have a corporate counsel, which we voted Ansel and Glink as our corporate, and we voted Delgado as our prosecutor, and we see Delgado. Nevertheless, why are we paying legal retainer for Scott Erdman?
As you know, we are in court for other cases, and we have multiple attorneys. Each firm use different attorneys.
Fucking hilarious. And it's funny how she'll parade this around like, oh yeah, we win every lawsuit. You see this paper? We beat that. You see this one? We beat that. You see this other one? We beat that. And she's just like, bitch, we fucking on top of the world. Stop. Ma'am, respectfully, of course, you're wasting the city's money on fucking legal fees. This is not a win. Every lawsuit that you go into is a loss, bro. Why the fuck are you in a lawsuit in the first place? Who, like, what? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe 2 for your 4-year term. Like, some shit happened. Okay, a few lawsuits. Boom, bam, we took care of it. Listen, there's too many lawsuits to count. And there's more incoming, I'm sure of it. So there's a problem here. You have multiple attorneys dealing with different cases. That sounds a little crazy. I know she's saying this as if this is like some amazing comeback. Like, oh yeah, we have different attorneys for different accounts, ma'am. Get your facts right. It don't sound too good. It don't sound too proper. You know, it's not sounding as good as she thinks it sounds.
Do different stuff. You know that. So for you to sit and try to blame it on legal, let me answer. You asked me a question. Let me respond, trustee. So for you to ask me, I answered. That is the answer. I don't have to use any funds from the village for anything that I have. I have my own money, and I've always utilized my own money to do anything for Tiffany Henyard. as it relates to my title as mayor. Now, when you guys get into lawsuits and things of that nature, that's totally, totally different. I am protected under the village. I am protected under this council to my right. That's who represents me. That's who represents this body.
See, you just
That
said
is the
represent
law.
you.
I got a question.
Okay, before we get into the back and forth, because we're getting way off track. Hold on.
I'm not trying to go back and forth.
Oh, 1 second. I want to get his invoices in, then I'll go to you. Trustee, can you read the invoices into the record?
I sure can.
Thank you.
Invoice number 33340.
Trustee House is the smartest guy on this board, and he's gonna probably win mayor if he does his campaign properly. That's the only thing I'm worried about in terms of House. You need a nice, convincing campaign. You need to actually be kind of aggressive when you need to be. But at this very moment, he's playing his cards so well. Everybody's gonna remember House as the voice of reason. I've never seen his emotions get the best of him, ever. He's never gotten over passionate to the point where he loses his cool. I think I've seen everybody on this board get to the point where it's like, okay, we're seeing you crack under the pressure. House, cool as a motherfucking cucumber. So that he has that going for him, and he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing.
For February, $10,762.50. Invoice 33341 for representation on the electoral board is $10,133.75. Invoice 33631 for March service is $19,418.75. Invoice 33632 for electoral board services $9,231.25. Invoice 33857 $9,361.55. Invoice 33858 $9,091.66.
It's a lot. So why did you say one of them was 19,000?
Yes, Mayor.
That's a lot. Do you know what that's for? Why was that inflated to $19,000?
That was for the 4 lawsuits that were prepared for actions that the board feel are illegally done by the administration.
She talks about grandstanding. She's the number one grandstanding. She wants him to read that out so she could make them look bad in front of everybody else. I don't know if I understand the definition of grandstanding, but I'm pretty sure that's what it means. You're showing off, Mayor. So what are you going to do? You're going to spend another 5 minutes talking shit about them wasting $19,000. When, at the same time, if you look at her fucking food expenses for a month, remember the time when he was like he wanted to remove some things off of the budget? Thousands of dollars per stop. Man, you could rack up $19,000 in 2 weeks. Tiffany could do that shit in 2 weeks. She could do that in a couple of days on a fucking trip. Come on now. She's big balling. Come on. She feels like the president. She is the president of Dalton, okay? She's talking about $19K. What the fuck is $19K to her? Of the village's money. Specifically of the village's money. What is $19,000 of the people's money? Who cares? But she's going to try and make them look bad.
So you sent that to your attorney and not corporate counsel. Okay, prime example of what I mean by money grab of you guys using outside counsel. We have counsel that you voted for. Once again, I keep trying to explain to the residents that you have legal representation here on this board. You did not have to hire a outside firm to put in a lawsuit that you said. But go ahead, Trustee Steve, you have the floor.
Question, Mayor Henyard. When you were Trustee Henyard, did you vote for a corporate counsel as a trustee?
Here we go.
Yes, you were. So let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
When you was a trustee, you had corporate counsel. This is not new. You're trying to spin the residents as if we're doing something so new. We had our own corporate counsel because there's ordinances that this administration that is not following and Delgado Group is not saying nothing about. 2, we have an ordinance that she voted on. $1,500 is the max if you spend it without board approval. She blasts us out the water. She spends so much money she's spending right now without board approval. That's an ordinance that Delgado.
Damn. Only $15,000 without board approval. $1,500. Come on, she blasted that out the water by times 10 at least.
Is not enforced. Every hire and fire has to run through the board. Is that being enforced by the Delgado Group? No. So we don't trust the Delgado Group because they're going to side towards the mayor. That's the reality. It's not like we're trying to spend excess money. We're doing the same thing that Trustee Henyard did. They got corporate counsel. As trustees, when you don't agree with the legislative or the administrative council, we have our own legislative council. That's period, because we need people who's going to fight for us. We talked about Delgado Group. They'll explain it away. They won't answer the questions. And that's the reality. We're not up here just spending taxpayers' money frivolously. That's what this administration is doing, and they're not sending it to us. At Trustee House, when's the last time we got a corporate or credit card bills? $25,000 a month credit card bills that we're not getting. This is the reality of this spending. So she wants to spend it like we have to get our own attorney to actually do things to stop this administration from bankrupting the town. That's the reality where we at. That's all I got to say.
I'm gonna say this and we're gonna move on because we'll be up here all night going back and forth. What you're stating up here is untrue, is false. For the record, Janique, when was the last time you just sent them the credit card bills that they're claiming they never got? And this is our finance director, because all the lies y'all tell up here is ridiculous. You get everything you ask for. You have access to Viewpoint. You can see every bill that's getting paid. Once it's getting approved, you got everything. So stop.
Okay, so that's the application I was talking about, Viewpoint. Now, something to keep in mind with these applications, you can have access to these things, but you can be locked out of certain viewpoints. So they can say like, oh yeah, we sent it to you, but when you click on it, certain files you won't be able to access if you don't have if you don't have admin permissions. And that's very easy to switch around and change passwords and do a little something to where people who used to be able to access it can't access it anymore. So that's very true. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they did send the Viewpoint spreadsheet. But at the same time, can we see everything? Or can we just see the summary numbers and the little totals and stuff? Can we see everything? So that's what they're probably saying. And she's just banking that she's hoping on the fact that the village, the ones who know this are too old or too stupid, one or the other. She's hoping that people just don't know this, I guess.
Electronic warrant that details the credit card payment.
Can you speak into the mic so they can hear you in the back?
Yeah, the electronic warrant details the credit card payment, all the transactions. They review that every month. And one trustee just requested credit card bills Wednesday.
And something about Tangenique just makes me feel like she's here and she's not supposed to be. But then I'm probably right in my assumption. I have no idea. She might be the best accounting person ever. But something, just the way she looks like a fucking deer in headlights. It makes me feel like Tiffany Henyard likes her. They probably go back. You know, we've seen this history before. They probably go back and she probably plopped her in that position and said, do what I say, good boy, good girl. Do what I say, good girl. You know, that's probably what she said. And what are they going to do? Do what the fuck she says, good girl, because they're getting paid out for not knowing shit, not knowing nothing. The most qualified person on this board is probably Keith Freeman. And like a few other trustees that I don't want to list out. But in terms of her side of the fence, probably only Keith Freeman.
Thursday.
We do not have.
Okay.
We don't have mayor trustee houses. Do we have all the credit card bills?
Trustee.
We don't.
We don't have to lie about it. I don't want to go back and forth. I want her to go on record because we gave you everything you asked for. All that back and forth.
For the
up
record,
here,
it's not. She's not telling her 100% truth.
she has no reason to lie. But we're
Yes,
gonna
she
end
does.
this. And we're gonna hold on. We're gonna
Her job
end
is
this
at stake.
and
She
we're
got a
gonna
heck of a
move
reason.
on. So you guys
Well,
took
actually,
out. Hold on,
Mayor, I
trustee.
like to be recognized when you
We're gonna
finish.
move on.
Prior to moving on, we're not going to move on. We're not.
What
We're
you guys
not.
want?
We're still discussing this.
We're still discussing.
There's nothing else to discuss.
Yes, it
You
is.
guys pull.
Hey, she has a board of trustees, and if they want to continue discussing, what the fuck is she going to do? She's doing this in front of everybody, bro. And her weave or her wig is looking pretty tough today. It looks like they put some glue on her forehead and then just looped it up. They got some fucking gel and just looped it up. You know, the more I look at her, the more janky I realize her fucking hair really is. Shout out all my black women who be wearing their shit natural, man. I love y'all. And shout out the folks who don't, but you know what I'm saying? I like some variety. Tiffany is out here. Ugh. Shit's looking kind of atrocious. Atrocious. I don't know why I can't say that word ever. But it's looking quite atrocious today. I think the stress might be getting to her.
neither one of y'all had the floor. Thank you.
We're waiting.
Thank you. We're gonna move on because you guys stated what you wanted to take out. We're gonna take out whatever you said you want to take out. You added your attorney information in and vote. Now move on.
We're still in
All
discussion.
the back
We're still in
and forth for
discussion.
what? Discussion about what?
All the trustees in that spoke.
I haven't.
We're moving on. Can you
Okay,
please
no,
call?
no, Mayor,
can you
may I be
please call the roll?
recognized prior to moving
No,
on?
no, you cannot.
Okay, well,
we're gonna
here.
move
You
on.
can't,
Trustee.
she can't be recognized.
Trustee,
We're
we're
not
gonna
moving
move
on.
on.
We're
We
not.
are.
We're
We
not.
are going to move on. We're not gonna go back and forth. We just said what we needed to say. We're gonna move on. Clerk, can you please call the
I
roll?
make a motion to suspend the
Can you
rules.
please call the roll?
Second.
Second.
Please call the roll.
You see how calm House is though? He plays his cards when he needs to be. He hit that second real fast. Let's back this up.
Go back and forth. We just said what we needed to say. We're gonna move on. Clerk, can you please call the
I
roll?
make a motion to suspend the
Can you
rules.
please call the roll?
Second.
Second.
Please call the roll.
I just made a motion in second.
Your motion is not granted. Can you please call the roll?
She don't even know how the fuck. She don't even know how this shit works. Your motion is not granted. I'm the president. I'm God. I'm Jesus. No. I'm a dictator. The fuck?
Yeah, because, excuse me. Let's
Because
stop
y'all make this into a whole show. We're not here for that. We're here to take care of the
You
business.
can't just
We're not here to go back and forth. It's no respect up here. It's no honor to Robert Rules of Order. Y'all know how Robert Rules of Order go. When I tell y'all something, y'all don't want to do it. You want to go back and forth with me. And I'm not the boss of anybody, but I am the leader of this town. And I run the meetings, period.
It's a meeting.
So if I'm telling you guys we're gonna move on, we're gonna move on. Every other meeting that I go to do not work like this. Only here. Only
No,
here.
it's because you don't respect them. There's like 15 motions in the air right now. Not one of them has been caught. They're just throwing motions up. They're just lobbing them up. Not a single one has been caught. It's just floating up in the air. You have to, come on, this is how government works. Why do you think things stay in legislation or they stay in they stay in talks for so long and it feels like laws take 1,000,000 years to get passed? Because you have to do things properly. People have to say what they want to say, debate what they want to debate. That's what makes things amazing. If we had a dictatorship, this country would be a lot different. And she wants Dalton to be her little dictatorship, her little China, her little wherever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? She wants it to be her little, yeah. It's not how it works. And it's showing. And I'm so happy all this stuff is live streamed because she never will be able to take this stuff back. And it's YouTubers like us, the people who are doing shit like this, these little things that pop out now, and you're going to be like, oh, that happened a little while ago. All that shit comes back out. I don't think she really understands how it works. She thinks that this big, long live stream, nobody's really going to see it. They're just going to brush over it. No, people find things, bro. It's hilarious. But let's continue.
Here we got to put on a show. We don't. Once everybody learn how to just conduct business and move on. When somebody tell you we moving on, we move on. We don't have to argue. We don't have to debate. We're done with it. Call the roll call.
We got a motion in second.
It's a motion and a second on the floor, since you know Robert Rules of Order.
Okay,
If I may, Madam
go ahead,
Mayor,
attorney.
if I may, there's currently pending a motion and a second to approve the corporate bills as amended by Trustee House. There has been discussion. Discussion can be ended at the call of the chair, which is the president's. And then the only next step is to move to a roll call with respect to that pending motion.
Thank you.
Okay. Now what about the motion to suspend the rules?
It's out of order at this time.
Thank you.
And y'all wonder why we have our own legal
It's out of
counsel.
order because there's a pending motion on the floor.
No, but you understand because there's a pending motion. So once he clears that see, the lawyer is smart. He doesn't say everything. It's because it's like something's already in play. Stupid. She doesn't even understand what's happening. Once that gets cleared, like, it's a technicality, bro. Once they clear the first motion from House, and House understands this, he's not stupid. He doesn't let his emotions get crazy, so he's going to probably smooth this out. Once he clears that, then they can move on. They're still going to get to say what the fuck they want to say. This shit's kind of crazy, bro. Anyway.
Is that true, attorney? Is that true?
Can we ask our
Is
attorney?
that true?
Okay, so we're not gonna go back and forth with attorneys. If the attorney just gave an order,
Supersedes.
so if we're gonna go back and forth, we can deal with that later. Can you call the roll so we can move forward with the corporate
Our motion
business?
supersedes of what's going on.
Oh
Our
my
motion
God.
supersedes that.
Can we move forward? Can you call the roll, clerk?
Our motion supersedes.
The attorney just told you the answer. Please call the roll.
Okay, are we clear? Because we have another
No, we
attorney.
are.
No, it's
The
not.
attorney
We're
does
not
not
my
run
attorney.
the day-to-day operation, does not run the
Absolutely.
meetings.
Well,
He does. He
we-
just gave you your answer. Can you please call the roll?
So you're not gonna let us hear from our attorney, Mayor? Is that what you're stating?
Clerk Key, can you please call the
You gonna
roll?
let trustee speak? You gonna let the other trustee speak?
Clerk Key, can you please call the roll? The attorney just gave you the answer.
Her way or the highway, man.
And you have another attorney.
That's not our attorney. This is
the
our attorney.
legislative council.
Can you please call the roll, clerk?
Can our attorney grab a mic or something? You wanna?
Can you please call the roll?
Thank you, because he's getting compensated.
Attorney, you out of order. You out of
I
order.
don't care if I'm out of
You
order.
out of order, attorney.
It doesn't matter.
He doesn't care if he's out of order. Fuck yeah, I fuck with him.
You out of
I'm out of
attorney.
order.
It doesn't matter who wants to hear anything. This is our attorney.
That's how she
You
feel
are
about
our
citizens.
attorney.
You see how she feel about the citizens.
It ain't
She's
about
something
the citizens. The citizens do not speak at this moment. Chief, can you please keep order?
It's-
I appreciate it. Because I see that everybody wants this to be a show. Sir, you are out of order.
It's-
This is our,
That motion supersedes the other
hold
motion.
on.
And there's a
This is
second,
our
so there's a
corporate
vote
attorney.
superseding.
Okay.
You out of order. Okay, so you done. You said what you need to say. Thank
There
you.
needs to be a vote on.
You are out of order,
Yeah,
attorney.
there need to be a vote.
You are out of order, attorney.
You see, she's like a child, bro. She's out of her league. She is out of her league, bro. Completely.
Actually, attorney can't be out of order.
You are out of order, attorney. I didn't give you the floor. Did I give you the floor? So you're not gonna follow Robert Rules of Order, neither, huh?
We gave it to him.
You out of order.
What's your turn? What's your turn?
You out of order. So can we move forward, guys? Can we call the roll? I would appreciate it, Clerk Key. You call the roll.
I would appreciate it if you guys would get this in order so that we know what is correct and what
You
isn't
want to listen
correct.
to this attorney and not
I'm
this
listening to
attorney.
both attorneys.
He don't run the meetings. He doesn't. He
But
does.
This is the board's attorney.
He runs the meeting. So if both of them going back and forth, when do we move forward?
When
When
both,
do we get?
when both attorneys settle it, it's called two civil attorneys who don't blow their top. She's like a child, bro. She's a fumbling child, kicking and screaming, over here trying to have her muscle take care of the business. The lawyer knows his next move is probably to allow this to happen because it's, I mean, come on. Come on. She knows that if this other attorney explains it and everybody understands it, then it's obviously going to go through. So she's doing her very best to keep everybody from understanding.
If everybody got their opinion of how it works.
No, there was.
Yes,
The
y'all do.
trustees have a few words, more last words. The other
Trustee,
trustees that want to talk.
trustee,
That's it.
trustee. We gonna move forward. Do y'all not want to pay the corporate bills?
We
Do
want
y'all not
to
want to pay the bills?
have a voice.
You already
we don't
had your
wanna-
voice. You spoke. So I'm
Trustee,
saying we're
the other
done.
trustees that
We
wanna
had
speak.
discussion, trustee. We had discussion, and we're moving forward. I agree, and I agree. So, are you ready? I agree.
Have you guys worked this out?
He just gave you the answer. So, can you please?
And so
call?
you're saying their attorney,
He's out of order. So
He's
can
out
you
of
call
order.
the roll?
And
All
you
we
guys
ask you
good
to
with
do is
that?
call the roll.
okay.
That's it.
Sure.
Dictatorship. This is a democracy. Last time I checked.
Trustee Brown.
I yield my time to Trustee Norwood.
This ain't yield time. She's calling the roll for a vote to pay the bill.
Trustee Brown, I yield my time. Man, listen, she's such a. Anyways, I'm just let it play. I'm gonna let it play. I keep saying the same thing.
Mayor, I can yield my time to Trustee
So
Norwood.
y'all just want to sit
Thank
up here.
you.
Y'all don't want to pay the bills.
The bills will be paid.
When we gonna pay the bills?
You gonna pay them anyway, so it don't even matter because you
Okay.
do what you want to do.
Well, I'm glad you know that I'm gonna pay my staff. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, attorney,
All I hear is a roll call that should be taken with respect to the pending motion to approve the corporate bills.
thank you. Can you please call
I
the roll?
just
to pay
started the
bills?
roll call. Trustee
Okay,
Brown.
skip her next.
Go ahead.
Okay, skip
That's
her
not
next.
how it goes. Either she,
If she said she
Abstain.
was her time, you go to the
but
next
this is a
person.
vote.
She don't want to vote, so you go to the next person.
Then she should say abstain.
She don't want to say abstain. She want to say what she wants, so you go to the next person.
You're telling me that. She's not telling me that.
She don't. Oh my God! Can you direct her on how it goes then, so she can understand?
Each trustee has a right to say whether they're present or they abstain from the vote.
She's saying she,
She hasn't
wants to
said
yield her
anything.
time, so then you go to the next person in line, ask them for their vote.
So basically, she's not voting. Is that,
Basically, she's not voting.
Correct.
and that is what you're saying, attorney?
Trustee Brown has not made a vote, so she's not voting on the roll call that you're issuing.
Trustee House.
I just think it's fascinating that when we want to when the mayor wants us to read bills into record, we can pause for a moment. But then when the board members have a conversation point, it's let's move forward. So on this point right here, I also yield floor to Trustee Norwood.
So nobody's voting. I love it. House is gonna get mayor. If I was a resident, I would vote for him. Shit, I'm fired up. I'm fired up for the man. You know what I'm saying? Shit. He's smart. Now everybody see he's a leader. And I'm not glazing or nothing, but that's some leadership shit. Now everybody understands like, now none of us, hey, nobody vote. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things to where he's one of the guys that you know he could get shit done. Shit, I'd follow him. The way, come on now. Fuck her.
I won't be long.
Trustee Norwood?
Yes. So I just wanted to clear up two things.
We are in the middle of a vote, trustee.
Okay, well, I'll just wait.
Okay. Trustee Steve?
Aye.
No,
Trustee Holmes?
Steve, you should have yielded your time, bro.
Elected me to speak.
Trustee
Order,
Belcher?
please.
Trustee Belcher?
I'm yielding my votes.
Order,
Order,
The
please.
motion failed.
Motion failed. Love it.
So you guys don't want to vote on the corporate bills. You guys want to yield time and keep
Next,
on with
next, I
discussion.
will make a motion that we suspend the rules.
Second.
You can make all the motions you want. You guys should just pay the bills. That's what I'm saying. So residents, you see what happens up here when people don't get their way. They hold up process and we have to move forward. It's time to move forward. So now y'all don't want to vote to pay the bills? Y'all don't want to vote to pay the bills?
Yes, we want to vote to pay the bills.
Y'all don't because everybody
We
want to
want-
keep going on.
We just
had
want to have our
discussion.
last words. That's it.
Your
that's
last
not-
word. Okay, go ahead, trustee.
What's
Okay,
that?
go ahead.
It.
Finally let them do it. Finally let them do it. Fine. And it's because she started hearing the pressure. Because the people are what govern her, bro. At first the people are like, man, let's just get it paid. But then in the background you start hearing, no, let them speak. No, you should just let them speak. She's hearing them. So she's like, okay, you know what? Fine. She's a baby, bro. She is not a leader. She is anything but a leader. The furthest thing from a leader. She needs to be a grunt and stay there.
Order, please, or you'll be removed from the meeting.
Thank you.
There's a motion made by Trustee House to suspend the rules.
No, she says you want to speak. Let her speak. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
This is a show. But go
I'm
ahead.
making it fast. I just wanted to, it was two things, and just for the residents' sake so that they're clear. I know that Tanjanique stated that she sent the credit card statements out. Now, I did request, I sent an email over to her, and she sent me the bills for the month of March, February, and March. She didn't send them to the other trustees, so in their defense, they didn't receive them. She sent them to me, but my question to her was, were we caught up on the bills? Because I know this is June and I only received February and March. So in regards to that, I know we didn't have the statements for April and May. So that was that. And then in regards to, you made a comment in regards to our attorney. There was a meeting 2 meetings ago when I asked our corporate attorney, or Otis and Stark, I asked them, and it was at a live board meeting, I asked them if raises were supposed to be giving out by the mayor without permission of the board. And he stated publicly that he couldn't answer that and that we should ask our attorney. So when you say things like, well, we're spending money, the thing is this is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy. We were elected just like you were elected. You are not the only voice for the people. The people.
Imagine your attorney telling you that I can't tell you, you should ask your attorney. That's clearly a conflict of interest. And she's saying that this attorney is for us. This attorney is for me and all these trustees. Come on, bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Come on.
Elected 7 people. The system is designed with 7 elected officials in mind. 7. It's not just your way or the highway, and that's why we're here, Mayor. If you humble yourself, you can work with your team, and we can work together to do the best for the residents. You hold up the whole meeting and say we're wasting time just because you didn't want me to speak when you could let me speak and we could have moved on. There's no back and forth. I just want to clarify that we do have I have the statements for February and March. The other trustees don't. Once upon a time, before the new finance
Tangenique was put into place, we will receive the credit card statements every month, like clockwork. It wasn't until she was put into place where we stopped receiving them. We are elected officials that's
Because Tangenique don't know what the fuck she's doing. I told you, these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. These people aren't politicians. They don't know what they're doing. Tangenique, she probably pulled Tangenique out of fucking high school, out of the fucking weave shop or some shit. She probably dragged Tangenique up here from wherever the fuck she got her. You think Tangenique know what the fuck she doing? Come on now. Even if she did, she's at the whim of Henyard.
responsible for the finances, so we shouldn't have to ask. We really are supposed to just be given the information every month. So I did take the liberty to ask her, and she did take the liberty to send it to me. But just for the record, we are supposed to be given the bills every month. That's just protocol. And before she was elected, we were receiving them, and we didn't have an issue in regards to asking you for them. So, Mayor, I just thank you for allowing me to speak. And I just want to say that I'm hoping that you learn to humble yourself so that you can work with your team. We all want to work with you, but you sit up here and you act like Trump. This is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy. Thank you.
Okay, normally I go back and forth and but I'll handle that later. So call the roll so we can move forward. Everybody say what they needed to say.
Normally I go back and forth just because you ain't got nothing to say. Simple as that. Ignorant ass. Like, she's really showing herself, man. She's really showing how ignorant she really is. Don't really know too much of nothing, do she? She don't really know nothing. She don't really know nothing, bro. She don't really know nothing. Not really. Sad. But anyways, people, I love you guys, man. I'm going to hit you guys up. We're going to be going live again next week, so keep an eye out for that. Sorry I've been kind of lacking on the live streams. You guys know what's been up. These fucking videos. But anyways, folks, I love y'all. Stay inside. Stay safe. I'm going to see you later.